Welcome into your Louisiana Geaux Nation. He is Brian Hall and I am Chessa Boucher. It is the last week of fall camp out there on the Ponderosa. That means we will be in Tiger Stadium soon.
I don't know where to begin this show. I'm looking at the rundown right now. There's so much spiciness over the last week and a half.
Yep.
And you weren't here a couple weeks ago, so we're still kind of unpacking all of our emotions and all the things we actually think about, some of the things that have happened. So I'll open up the floor as I do every single week. It is time for What We Learned. What did you learn this week?
So speaking of spicy, I like to bring the heat, as you know, Brian.
Sure.
The hot topic this week on social media is NFL players returning to college football via the transfer portal, which is just weird because of the latest court ruling. I am right there with y'all. It's absolutely absurd that any pro athlete can say, nah, I'm good. I'm just going to go back to college and play ball and get some NIL money and do what I want to do. When you make a decision, you move forward, you have to accept the consequences that come with that life decision, period. You don't get to backtrack and be like, just kidding, I'm going to go do another year. And I'll tell you, Brian, I took 5 years in college. I did not want to get out of college. I don't blame you. I had a lot of fun there in Oxford, Mississippi.
You go backpacking?
Yeah, I mean, you fail Spanish and you got to do it again, so I did. So we're making it too easy for college students and young adults to just flip-flop back and forth. That's not the real world. We are setting them up for failure. So a dude realizes he's going to be cut by an NFL team and he wants to, just have a fallback plan. Why don't you go get a real job? What a concept. Make an average living like the rest of the world. Make that $20,000 out of college like I did. When you make a decision, say it with your chest and accept it. I also don't understand why there wasn't a huge uproar when this happened during basketball season as well. Yeah. I could tell that one was fiery. You had to get that one off your chest. It just annoys
I get
me.
it. I hear you. I think most people out there would actually agree with that.
Yeah.
Majority opinion usually is not what I specialize in. I've covered LSU baseball for quite a while now. I think this one will, though, hit a little bit. And I used to cover Paul Mainieri. Paul Mainieri consistently told me about the times that he said no to plenty of talent that came on visits to Baton Rouge. He wanted character along with the talent. He didn't allow talented distractors to infect and infiltrate his locker room. He would tell me stories of sending kids home on official visits. As you can imagine, he got a lot of that advice from that man right there. He and Jay Johnson and any other LSU coach from now on can now do the exact same that Skip established. Skip Bertman is the reason why this Ferrari of a baseball program is so souped up, but he's also the reason why it's not just built on talent alone. They want the best culture, they want the best locker room, and that starts at the top, and it started with that man. LSU can recruit like that for years to come because of what Skip taught us, and he even titled his own book with the exact same phrase, everything matters, because it does. And that certainly was the message I've heard over and over again this week, listening to his legacy, his players talk about the greatest of all time. Rest easy, Skip, because that was a life well lived.
Absolutely.
All right. Switching gears, I should say. We just talked about Skip, but switching gears now to the modern day of college football. Lane Kiffin has certainly embraced it, that's for sure. And he even finds a major positive now with name, image, and likeness.
They make a lot of money, a lot of them now, and so to me there's a little difference in there. If you get what part of your motivation was, are you still motivated? But also, I think in a way, people talk about all the problems with them making money, which there are problems that come with that. There's also a good side too, because I think they feel more like it's a big job versus, I just have a scholarship, and I kind of show up and do football, part-time. I think they do take it more serious that way and realize, hey, if I don't play well, I'm probably not going to make that next year. And if I play well, I'm going to make more versus I just have the same scholarship.
Now, former LSU defensive end Jack Pyburn seems to be at the center of yet another battle for the NCAA. The LSU starter was granted a temporary restraining order from a judge right here in East Baton Rouge Parish, along with 31 other plaintiffs that, in effect, could allow them to come back and play one more year. The NCAA was ordered to come to Baton Rouge on August 31st. less than 2 weeks from now to potentially stop this temporary order from becoming permanent or longer.
Yeah, good luck with that. NCAA not known lately for winning court battles.
No, I need that lawyer's number, that judge's number.
We'll see. All right, still to cover. Lots of football still to cover, including the Coach O and his new boss. Talk about him too, Mr. Blake Baker, your defensive coordinator for the LSU Tigers.
Plus, more on LSU's offense. What will it look like and sound like in 2026? That's next.
What's made this move right for me? It's LSU. I think if anybody chooses this program, they'll see what's best for them and see why this is a great program.
Welcome into your Louisiana Geaux Nation. He is Brian Holland. I am Chessa Boucher. Ever since the NCAA approved coach-to-player communications through the helmet in 2024, Charlie Weis Jr.'s offensive system, well, you know, they led the nation in passing yards, passing touchdowns, and, total points scored.
That's a cumulative, I should say, points, touchdowns, all that over the last 2 years. And they're going to continue, of course, to build that. But this is Charlie Weis's offense for sure. It is his show on offense.
It's benefited us. I think that speaks a lot to Charlie and his ability to communicate to the quarterback, and then the relationship developed in that and how that all works. It's not just as easy to just give a play. I shouldn't say that. Some people do that. Ours is a lot more in depth of what we do and how we work it, and where the 15 cuts off, 15 seconds, and you're doing that in the SEC. There's a lot of easier conferences defensive-wise, definitely, to do that in. So that's why he was so sought after. He's been so sought after for a couple years around the country, and why he makes what he makes.
On the other side of the football, Lane Kiffin has talked about how important it was retaining defensive coordinator Blake Baker. During the offseason, Baker was offered the head coaching job at his alma mater, Tulane, but he eventually turned it down to stay here in Baton Rouge. Now, Baker is one of the highest paid coordinators in all of college football, so of course I had to ask him why he returned to the Red Stick.
Comes down to making those big time decisions, and had a couple great opportunities. It starts with my family. I think being able to have that conversation with them. My kids are getting older now, so they're part of that conversation as well. But we're extremely happy here in Baton Rouge. And then the second part, talking to Coach Kiffin, I truly believe with what he does on offense and what we do on defense, the ultimate goal is to bring a national championship to LSU, and I kind of want to see that through. So those are probably the two biggest reasons.
And he had to know that this man was coming back to Coach O. Hey, don't bump into Coach O. Eddie Orgeron, 2019 national champion, back at practice. Not this week. He's been dealing with an illness, but all the LSU players have said their experience thus far is Coach O is loud. Yeah, I'll bet. But he is a welcomed encyclopedia of football knowledge out there on the practice field amongst, well, other things.
I'm trying to find a word. I don't know. He was loud though. That's what I could say. He was loud. He was real passionate. You could tell his energy was going to change the tone of the whole team, and he's a great addition to the team. And we look forward to having him here. Coach O, he's a great person to have on your side. He's coached one of the best, so it's good having him on my side to coach me too. Coach Baker, he's a great guy. He's a great coordinator. He's a player's coach. He knows how to talk to the guys, get everybody motivated, get everybody going, get everybody on one page. He's going to find the nates and bruises of the defense, and we're going to get that going.
And it all starts with Coach Baker and cleats out there on the practice field. You love to see it. Now, more on the way as we'll check in on fall camps for both LSU and Southern. The countdown to football season is here, y'all.
Oh, she's all revved up over here. And we remember, of course, the best from a life well lived. More on Skip, more on the GOAT right after this.
He obviously put LSU baseball on the map, and really LSU athletics in a sense when you talk about a 5-time national championship. But my heart goes out to him and his family and the LSU baseball family for sure.
Welcome back into your Louisiana Go Nation. He is Brian Hall and I am Chessa Boucher. After 5 national championships, a plethora of stories, an entire world of college baseball impacted by the legend Skip Bertman is gone after 88 years.
Yeah, I've spent the last week, as have you, with several of his peers, former players, coaches, family members, all impacted here in Baton Rouge by the man, the myth, the GOAT. Here are just a few snippets of some of those stories. Enjoy.
LSU baseball is one of the most unique programs in the country, Brian, from this standpoint. Whether you played under Skip, whether you played under Smoke, whether you played under me, whether you played under Jay, there's a bond between all those players. You know, he's the man.
Just a legend, and, you know, as they say today, the GOAT. He's just, he's up there with John Wooden, Bear Bryant. We'll be fortunate to be able to pass by that statue, you know, whenever out at the box and remember all the good times that we had with Coach.
I remember meeting him and was just, mesmerized by him. A bigger than life personality. I like to call him the John Wayne of college baseball, right? I mean, he was just a man's man. He had tremendous confidence. He believed in everything he said, and that's why LSU baseball is successful. There was teams that had more talented players than LSU. Stanford in 2000, I'd argue, might have been a better team than LSU, but they didn't have him in the dugout, and they didn't have the belief in all the LSU teams. They had that love for each other, and that's why they were so successful. Best coach, best athletic director, made the most impact on this city and this state, and maybe him and Drew Brees might be 1 and 2 in the entire state of Louisiana as far as impact.
And a celebration of life for Skip Bertman will be this Tuesday in the Pete Beverage Assembly Center on campus at LSU. Doors open at 6. The celebration starting at 7, and a private gathering for Bertman's family and former players will be held beforehand.
Still to come, some Tigers in the pros, plus the dynamic duo of Sam Levitt and Tradez Green starting to cook. Y'all, more on both of them after the break. Welcome back in your Louisiana Go Nation. He is Brian Holland. I am Chessa Boucher. Over on the bluff, Southern wide receiver coach Curtis Johnson, better known as Coach CJ, has over 40 years of coaching experience at both the college and pro levels.
Yeah, I love the staff that Marshall Faulk is putting together. You know, he's returned with, of course, Faulk. It's a full circle moment for both of them as Coach Johnson recruited the Hall of Famer here to play at San Diego State, if you can believe it. Now Faulk completed his coaching staff on the bluff with that final edition.
I love Coach CJ, man. Like you said, he's been all around. He's coached for the New Orleans Saints with Drew Brees. Like he always says, you know, I coached guys like Devery Henderson, Willie Snead, Michael Thomas. You know, when he was at the U, when they were the U, coaching the XFL, recruited Coach Faulk at San Diego State. So he's seen talent. And sure, sometimes, you know, in film, he'll pull up pro film. Like we watch the Saints all the time because not only is some of those concepts, like, you know, they may be in our playbook or not, but he just wants us to compare ourselves, like, to receivers. Like, he tells me all the time, like, Cam, I coach Ted Ginn. Like, I need you to be more like him with the speedy guy. Like, DB shouldn't even touch you. He's a really intelligent guy, like, just picking his mind because the man's been around football since longer than I've been alive, actually. So, like, he knows a lot of stuff.
That he does. And by the way, the preseason watch lists are here. Former East Fell and Zachary High star tight end Tradez Green, a first-team preseason All-American according to the Associated Press there at the tight end position. The safety Ty Benefield and offensive tackle Jordan Seaton both getting second-team selections on that same list, as LSU was one of 7 SEC schools to have more than one honoree on that preseason All-American squad.
Speaking of number 140, even though LSU's QB1 Sam Levitt was limited at spring practice, there's already chemistry between Levitt and Tradez Green, as you would expect, especially with the 6'7" tight end. He'll line up all over the field this fall and is primed for a monster season under this Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr. offense.
Tradez is great. You know, I always say every time Tradez's name gets brought up, you know, puts a smile on my face, and he walks into the building and he puts a smile on your face. So what a special human. And then on top of that, you know, you watch him on the field and it's just a wow factor. So you put the ball within any vicinity of him and he's going to go make the play.
And we're going to show you the celebration from Tommy White. That's because he hit his first career Major League Baseball home run. He got the silent treatment, and then you see the celebration. You got to give him the cold shoulder first, just to let him know, hey, look, it's still just your first, but keep that ball. And he did.
Tanks.
Yeah, Tanks getting that first Major League home run. I can't believe it took a couple of weeks, to be honest with you. But the A's win 5-2. As he had 5 hits in a 4-game stretch to that point. And by the way, I also said that the ball, that's going to his dad. He's already got a shrine there with plenty of Tommy Tanks balls, I'm sure, already up there.
Absolutely. All right, you know what time it is. We're going to close out the show with a little Who Ya Got? That's next.
Shutting out the lights on another edition of your Louisiana Go Nation. She's Chess Boucher and Brian Holland. Time for yelling at each other time.
Yep,
It's Who
my
You Got. Last week, of course, we predicted the SEC dark horses.
We did.
That we have in our corner.
Yep.
Now pick the SEC winner.
I think this one's easy. I have to give
Really?
it to Kirby Smart and the Georgia
What?
Bulldogs. He's returning Gunnar Stockton there at quarterback, and they're always stout on defense. It's just hard to bet against him. He's kind of taken over that role for Saban at Bama. He's built a powerhouse in Athens, and he's always consistent.
I get it, but you're going to sell me on Gunnar?
I just think the defense is going to be nasty. Yep.
You know what? I'll say this. I hope it comes true, because my prediction is this. The Texas Longhorns.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. And here's the other thing, too. In my heart of hearts, I believe it's going to be a huge year for Texas, and it's going to be a huge year for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not sure there are 2 teams in college and pro that I dislike more.
I would
Take
have to
it for
agree.
what it's worth, because, wow, that would not be a banner year in the Holland household. All right, for Chess Boucher and Brian Holland, until next time, this is the Go Nation.